Now we will go through the key actions from this lesson very quickly. The first point that we went through was about shirk polytheism will lead to hellfire. And this came from the story of Fir'aun, who said to Musa alayhi salam, when the message of La ilaha illallah was brought to him, he said, "No, I am the most powerful and I am the God of these people." And he became very arrogant at that point in time. So this shirk of him claiming himself to be a God leads to hellfire, definitely. And it came from the point of arrogance, that thinking that he was superior, he had the power, he could do anything. This arrogance led him to say that, I am the God. This arrogance led Shaitan to say that I will not follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's order because I am superior, I am made of fire and Adam is not. So this is a big problem. It leads to shirk or directly to fire. So for us, the action is that we should not be arrogant, we should be humble. And we should never think that we are superior to others, regardless of whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us. Because the point is, and to be humble, we discussed that all khair, all good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It can be money, wealth, power, children, experiences, skills, whatever you have acquired, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you always keep this in mind, then you will never be arrogant. You will always stay humble and you will become thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So don't go in that path of becoming arrogant and directly going to hellfire, or doing shirk and then eventually leading to hellfire, because this is the path and this arrogance is the key motivation, as we saw in the case of Fir'aun, as well as we saw in the case of Shaitan. Second action, there are leaders who are inviting to fire, right? And we discussed this in multiple concepts. And Jazakumullahu khairan again to Aziz and Abdullah, they almost summarize it perfectly. That leaders can be anyone. It can be a friend, it can be a boss, it can be anyone who influences you and gives you an idea that leads you to hellfire, takes you close to haram things, takes you to actually do haram things, or try to get shortcuts, corruption, backbiting. Anyone who is influencing you to go on the wrong path, to do any evil deed, is a leader inviting you to fire. So the action for us that came out from this was, don't follow any leader who is inviting others to hellfire. And we know the guidance, we know what is right, we know what is wrong. Now we have to make our decision whom we follow. And the other part of this action is, don't become one without even realizing, because you may also be a leader inviting others to fire unknowingly. You forwarded that message that you were not supposed to do. You received something shameful and you thought it's funny and then you forwarded it, or something else. So don't become a leader inviting people to hellfire, or don't give anybody an idea, because you will get the double thing, because you will get the punishment for doing whatever you did, the evil thing, and then inviting and becoming a leader, everything that they do afterwards can also come to your account. Those who don't respond to guidance are actually following their desires. Why? Because they are focusing more on the world. I don't need to care. I don't need to be stopped. I don't need any restrictions. What we need to understand is, life is a test to see who follows the guidance and who does good deeds and keeps away from bad ones. When you only fulfill your desires in this world, you forget the purpose of life and forget the purpose of creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains us in Quran to us. Blessed is Allah. This is in Surah Mulk as well. We will inshallah study. Blessed is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created death and life, that he might try you as to which of you is better indeed. This is the purpose of life that we need to keep on remembering. Those who don't respond, and the continuation of this action is, those who don't respond and they continue to follow their desires. So an action for us was, we are allowed in Islam to fulfill our desires. There are halal ways of fulfilling and being happy, right? So we have to fulfill our desires the halal way, and we have to follow the guidance to be successful in this life and hereafter. The third thing was, when believers hear vain or love talk, we had discussed the meaning of the word love, meaning that it is shameful, it is bad, it is disgusting, it is something that you're not supposed to talk about, just a waste of time. They turn away, they stop all resources, they don't they don't get into this, and they don't seek the ignorant people, jahilun. They try to block them. So of course you can inspire them to Islam, you can tell them this is right and wrong, but if they unnecessarily argue or they keep on polluting you, you have to stop them, right? This marks the end of today's lesson.